good job, and thank you for paying. It's a beautiful day.
Peace restored in Lapangap. Border talks to resume after Assam poll, says Deputy Chief Minister Sneobhalangdhar. Hineutreb Youth Council pressed District Selection Committee to release pending results ahead of upcoming exams. President Draupadi Murmu reaffirms India's global leadership goals at 8th International Solar Alliance Assembly. And first MLA Cup 2025 concludes. Deputy Chief Minister Preston Tinsong announced ₹22 crore sanction for Nongstoin Sopian Road. First, we bring to you the local news. Over 32,000 in-service teachers in Meghalaya have yet to clear the teacher eligibility test (TET) as mandated by a recent Supreme Court order. Education Minister Lakman Rimboy announced that the state will file a review petition seeking exemption for teachers appointed before the Right to Education Act came into effect, citing the retrospective nature of the ruling. Teachers who have cleared the Meghalaya TET will not need to retake the exam. Rimboy further stated that the government plans to streamline the school system into two categories, aided and government and private, and aims to implement a structured pay system for teachers by December.
Around 32,000 plus teachers will be affected. When the actual affected, that means they have to clear the TET. We don't know, maybe all of them will clear the TET also in 2 years, but let's hope it will be like that. Our contention is that this judgment of the Supreme Court is having a retrospective effect. What we want is that after the RE Act, that the government should exempt all those teachers pre-RTE Act. We have identified many issues. There are issues which we will be able to overcome. There are issues which we will not be able to overcome. But having said that, it is the endeavor of the government to streamline the education system. If we could, we want that in the state of Meghalaya, we will have only two structure of school, the aided and the government, plus of course the private schools.
Deputy Chief Minister Sneobhalangdhar has confirmed that Lapangap in West Jaintia Hills is now peaceful, with paddy harvesting expected to conclude by Tuesday. He described the recent unrest which led to the death of a Karbi villager as a temporary issue and assured that law and order is being maintained with the deployment of 30 to 40 police personnel. Dhar also stated that border talks with Assam will resume after the neighbouring state completes its elections, emphasizing Meghalaya's readiness for dialogue.
Aku melombo dengan padi obdin tak sih mak dan mata kesulah saya lah. Tak sih nak sih asli tu. Aku melombo itu sen isu lah kan dari semua tentang channel. Tapi metes harapan aku melombo dah. Aku melombo tak idon itu di dalam life exposition ini dan extra plus dan apa saja. Bila pakai dia aku melombo ada lepas extra plus so. Tapi ada lepas dia ready. Anda kemudian jingmang mentah itu kalau baik yang menunjukkan kemudian ayo apa dan masuk. Kemudian aku melonggang ngalapa masih so ada original cermat malah dia ada di realitan di makan election mungkin akan dibuka tahu benar ada di ada gitu.
Mairang Presbyterian Academy Secondary School organized a gospel concert cum food fest and sale of work at Mot Tirot Mission Ground, Eastern West Khasi Hills, to raise funds for its lower primary section. The event was inaugurated by Power and Water Resources Minister and Mairang MLA Medba Lingdo, who attended as chief guest alongside other dignitaries. Addressing the gathering, Lingdo voiced concern over rising drug abuse and violence, urging schools and churches to guide youth toward positive values. He announced a financial contribution of Rs 10 lakh to the school through the MLA scheme or other available avenues.
Ilipat dong ka presbytery, ilipat dong ka society dong ka imlang salang, ilipat dong ka dong ka time, ilipat dong ka jaipen reo dong ka state ka jogi. Ngisong nisa ni im, lada ka smeo ka saudong saukun ka sapya ni manawas niyo. Isniw lang. Isniw lang. Sir kalikawan. Sir. Kapa ay kung gifti siya rin siya. Sir, gigantay ka na, malay. Siya na, siya tayo, siya makandiya. Then lay, ya ka bangin ay mensin ng school, bakan doon, ya ka nakabenta, kajong ka, haka society, ka ay ka contribution.
Shillong Law College celebrated the graduation of over 100 students from its BA LLB 2020-25 and LLB 2022-2025 programs on Monday. Organized by the Students' Bar Association, the event honored academic excellence and student contributions with special awards presented to 2 standout graduates. Senior Advocate V.K. Jindal, chief guest, encouraged the new graduates to uphold ethics and integrity in their legal careers. Principal Dr. Sharifuddin delivered the welcome address, followed by the national anthem, while Vice Principal Dr. M. Kharshieng offered the vote of thanks.
To the graduates of both 5 years integrated course and 3 years course. This graduation degree itself is the testament of the hard work and dedication of everyone at this institution. Behind this degree, there are efforts of your teaching and non-teaching staff, including the librarian.
Deputy Chief Minister and NPP leader Sneobha Langdhar has cast doubt on the Congress party's ability to regain its former influence in Meghalaya, calling its resurgence very difficult. He noted Congress now holds just 1 MP in the state, attributing its decline to possible public disillusionment or leadership fatigue. On the upcoming Garo Hills Autonomous District Council elections, Dhar affirmed the NPP's preparedness and confidence in retaining power.
Kami kata kami di parti juga parti ni melang comments. They know better than us. Kami lam pancing ngalam lam pendek dari kami lam tunde kami lam komen nama. Aku macam kami sutum, aku belum mentah terus. Kongres kam sutum mensurvive berkata ro inong no kata ngam la manong kawe kala ba nong no bai ba kala thaji party point bawah hot point waktu kala man thaji leader di community kata they are the right person to do justice, not you and me. We are preparing very well. We work day and night. We didn't take things lightly. Aku report kami yo di ground level di party worker, so till today is good, not bad. And hopefully it should be a good report after election. Should be a good result.
The Hineutrep Youth Council HYC West Khasi Hills has called on the District Selection Committee or DSE to declare long pending results for posts like Grade 4 and LDA advertised since 2020 before conducting new exams scheduled for November 22nd and 29, 2025. Led by President Lumlang Kharsiemle and General Secretary Wantai Bok Lingdo, the council met Deputy Commissioner Garrod L.S.N. Dykes, who assured that results or interviews will be announced beforehand.
Agawai kalian kalau mengikuat apa kumbala ong lagi babun ki panba kantam ki samawat kam yong ki pun ini ki pen ki kuat ini bangin saya kan balai ban kalian jong bisi ibu exam yang haga aku arba haga dai terik jong nai wing no bomba jong sem arja san kat ba yak ini ki bat sudah exam ini ki arba nai baladat kampadan ka result hadu mentah dan kalian ini lekren ni lekapat bisi ban kalian disiru ada pressai ba hakmat jong ini mengelam pressai ba yaka Suapan thok iki exam yakin iki result yakin pending itu ada test and pendek no but kai interview but kai declare result hadin kata support kita exam.
The Northeast Science, Technology and Industrial Exposition launched its inaugural Science Expo at Northeastern Hill University, Nehu, marking Meghalaya's first mega event of its kind. Organized by Spark Educational Society, in collaboration with the Directorate of School Education and Literacy DSEL, the expo features around 200 stalls showcasing innovations in technology, handicrafts, jute, sustainable development and industrial progress. State and central government departments are participating to highlight achievements and ongoing programs. Running until October 30th, the event aims to inspire students and young innovators across the region.
Prime objective of this exhibition is mainly to give huge exposure, knowledge, information to very budding students of Meghalaya, youngsters, youth, entrepreneurs, research scholars, postgraduates, graduation students and general public how science and technology in India and Meghalaya is progressing, contributing to the humanity for the development of our India, our Meghalaya. That is the prime objective. It is mainly to give the information, knowledge, dissemination to a viewer.
And now let's take a short commercial break.
कहानी है सुना रही आकाशवाणी फिर आया एंटरटेनमेंट का रेवोल्यूशन जब कोने कोने पहुंचा दूरदर्शन कहानी नहीं बदली स्टाइल गया है बदल जो कहानियां हम सुनते आए देखते आए अब वही वैसी ही कहानी सुनाएगा डिजिटल
डाउनलोड वेव्स OTT ऐप नाउ एंड वॉच फॉर फ्री
Welcome back, viewers. The National Skill Training Institute NSTI West Women Thura celebrated its convocation ceremony today at the District Auditorium, recognizing 150 graduating students. Of these, 36 top-ranked students received certificates and medals for their outstanding performance. The event was attended by MP of Thura Saling A. Sangma, ADC Mary Lisa and RDS DE Assam Regional Director T. Ragulan. Sangma encouraged graduates to use their skills for societal good, while Lisa emphasized women's role in India's development. Ragulan outlined the Institute's training programs and announced new reskilling and CSR initiatives for the Northeast.
Main objective of this training program is under the Women Training Wing. The NSTI is running to empower the women as well as to make the people employable as well as the self-entrepreneur. This kind of trades will empower the women, both employable as well as self-employable, as well as they can go for the entrepreneurs themselves. And this successfully completed the courses for this last year, and this year we have conducted the convocation program for these people. Because of this long term and the short term, we will be giving the skilling as well as reskilling, upskilling the existing trainees, and for a future also to uplift the trainees as well as upgrade the people, the skills.
Meghalaya's Airy Silk sector continues to flourish, supporting over 50,000 families through sericulture and weaving. At a program on GI authorized user registration, Principal Secretary of Textiles Frederick R. Kharkongor highlighted the state's annual production of 14,000 metric tons of airy cocoons and praised the resilience of local artisans, especially during the pandemic. Earlier this year, Meghalaya's Airy Silk earned geographical indication GI status, gaining national recognition, including praise from the Prime Minister in his Mann Ki Baat address. Kharkongor also recalled the 2021 declaration of Umden Diwan as India's first Airy Silk village. The event was organized by the National Handloom Development Corporation with support from the Ministry of Textiles.
We all know that in the month of February, the state was recognized and awarded GI for India, and since then there has been a lot of highlighting of this aspect right from the level of the Honorable Prime Minister. In fact, Honorable Prime Minister had mentioned it in his Mann Ki Baat, which was broadcast sometime in June. And recognizing this from Department of Textiles, one very game-changing development was the declaration of Umden Diwan as the first Airy Silk village way back in 2021, where through an official gazette, the various activities of the Umden Diwan cluster was recognized, and the state and that village was recognized as the first Airy Silk village. So since then, that journey started.
In a major anti-narcotics operation, Nongpo police seized over 206 kilograms of marijuana during a routine vehicle check. The incident occurred around 12:40 a.m. on Monday when officers spotted a suspicious Maruti Espresso approaching a checkpoint. The occupants abandoned the vehicle and fled upon seeing police. Upon inspection, authorities discovered 28 bundles of tightly packed marijuana inside the car. The vehicle was secured overnight and officially searched the next morning, confirming a total haul of 206.054 kg. The seizure was conducted under the NDPS Act, and an investigation is underway to identify the culprits. And now in Northeast News. Arunachal Pradesh Chief Minister Pema Khandu felicitated 64 successful candidates of the Combined Higher Secondary Level Examination 2025 conducted by the Arunachal Pradesh Staff Selection Board APSSB. Congratulating them and their families, Khandu emphasized that their government roles are an opportunity to serve with compassion and integrity. He highlighted the importance of sincerity and public service and praised APSSB as a symbol of the state's commitment to merit-based, transparent recruitment. The third meeting of the high-level task force on agri-horticulture development in the northeastern region was held under the leadership of Sikkim Chief Minister P.S. Tamang. The session focused on actionable strategies to enhance value addition, market linkages and integrated planning for sustainable agricultural growth. Leaders from all 8 northeastern states participated. The collective aim is to transform the region into a leading agri-hub of India through coordinated efforts and shared vision. Moving on to national news. President Draupadi Murmu delivered the keynote address at the 8th International Solar Alliance ISA Assembly held at Bharat Mandapam, New Delhi, marking her first ever address to the Global Solar Forum. The 4-day event, attended by representatives from 124 countries and over 40 ministers, aims to accelerate solar energy adoption and deepen international cooperation. Union Minister Prahlad Joshi opened the inaugural session, emphasizing action-oriented collaboration and India's leadership in clean energy. President Murmu reaffirmed India's commitment to becoming a global hub for solar innovation, manufacturing and knowledge exchange by 2050.
India ranks fourth in renewable energy installed capacity and also in wind power. It ranks third in solar power generation. Our progress in the renewable energy sector reflects the country's commitment and robust policy framework. It is a matter of pride that the country's installed solar capacity had crossed 120 gigawatt. This is an important step in achieving India's long-term goal of reaching 500 gigawatt of non-fossil capacity by 2030.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended warm wishes to devotees on the conclusion of the sacred Chhath festival. In a social media post, he noted that the 4-day ritual ended with the morning arghya offered to Lord Surya, showcasing India's rich cultural traditions. He wished that the divine blessings of Chhati Maiya continued to illuminate the lives of all countrymen. Now in international news. US President Donald Trump lauded Japan's first female Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi during a meeting in Tokyo on Tuesday, commending her pledge to accelerate military buildup and deepen trade ties. Takaichi, a close ally of the late Shinzo Abe, announced plans to nominate Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize and reaffirmed a $550 billion investment package including shipbuilding and increased imports of US goods. The leaders met at Akasaka Palace, where Takaichi gifted Trump Abe's golf putter, a signed golf bag and a golf leaf bag. Trump praised her leadership, calling her one of the great prime ministers. Takaichi also pledged to raise Japan's defense spending to 2% of GDP amid rising regional tensions. A magnitude 6.1 earthquake hit Turkey early Monday, October 27th, causing 4 buildings to collapse, according to state media. Eyewitnesses' footage captured pool water overflowing during the tremor, with Reuters verifying the video's location and date using satellite imagery and webcam time stamps. The quake occurred at a depth of 10 kilometers, as reported by the German Research Center for Geosciences. Anadolu Agency confirmed that 3 unused buildings and a 2-story shop were among the structures that collapsed. No casualties have been reported. In sports. Deputy Chief Minister Preston Tinsong announced a ₹22 crore sanction for the construction of the Nongstoin-Sopian Road, a vital link to the national highway, during the closing ceremony of the first MLA Cup Football Tournament 2025 at New Nongstoin Ground. New Nongstoin SC clinched the men's title with a 2-0 win over Maukaton SC, while Dilingim triumphed in the women's futsal final, defeating Mauklam 1-0 at Lionel Futsal Arena, Pindengre. The event saw participation from several dignitaries and concluded with awards and recognitions for all finalist teams and standout players.
Panakalian jogi ke sorka bila pentre ya ka estimate batchen sayo ya da sanction da ba arpo arplur tam ya kali rasul kedengi amne apo nongton akaba naslo ban om bakani ke di penbena ba ke jonga kalong namar bakadri kadlomba anongton kali kau way kanongba kabalarintam district headquarter kabalarintam hapo kajela kejogi badru kabadon tam kani kajuk berkasi kabamenta.
India's Dhinidhi Desinghu set a new national record in the 400-meter freestyle at the Asian Youth Games 2025 in Bahrain, clocking 4:21 to finish 5th and surpassing her previous best of 4 minutes 24 seconds. Fellow swimmer Aditi Satish Hegde placed 7th with 4 minutes 32 seconds. In the boys' events, Nitish Sai Harinath secured 5th in the 50-meter freestyle. Dakshan Shashikumar came 7th in the 400-meter freestyle, and Vedant Tandale finished 7th in the 100-meter butterfly. Now the weather report. In Tura, the minimum temperature stands at 21 degrees Celsius, the maximum temperature at 28 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 61%. Moving on to Shillong, the minimum temperature stands at 22 degrees Celsius with the maximum temperature at 24 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 72%. Lastly, in Jowai, the minimum temperature stands at 23 degrees Celsius, the maximum temperature at 25 degrees Celsius, the relative humidity is 66%. And the forecast in Tura, Shillong and Jowai says dry weather most likely. Before we conclude, a look at the headlines once again. Government to seek TET exemption for 32,000 teachers in school system overhaul. Peace restored in Lapangap. Border talks to resume after Assam poll, says Deputy Chief Minister Snehbal Langdhar. Hineo-Trep Youth's Council presses District Selection Committee to release pending results ahead of upcoming exams. President Draupadi Murmu reaffirms India's global leadership goals and 8th International Solar Alliance Assembly. And first MLA Cup 2025 concludes. Deputy Chief Minister Preston Tinsong announced Rs 22 crore sanction for Nongstoin Sopian Road. With that, dear viewers, we come to the end of the news bulletin. For more updates, join us tomorrow at the same time, same channel. Until then, goodbye.